Hi friend, the Kindle just got a splash of color and it's a big deal. Today I have a full review of the first ever color Kindle, the Kindle Colorsoft. I'll be covering everything: build quality, design, display, features, whether it's actually worth the price, and yes, we're diving into the infamous yellow banding issue as well. But that's not all. I also discovered something pretty surprising about the battery life. Let's just say the results were not what I expected. Stick around until the end because I will share who I think this device is really for and my final thoughts. Let's get into it. When it comes to build quality and design, the Kindle Colorsoft stays true to what we've seen from other Kindle models. It's got that familiar plasticky rubberized back shell and a flush front design that feels simple but effective. Holding it in one hand feels easy and comfortable, making long reading sessions a breeze. Weighing in at just 220 grams, it's super lightweight, so you can read for hours without feeling any strain. Plus, the bottom chin of the device gives you a nice grip when reading in landscape mode. The overall build feels solid with very little flex even when applying pressure, so no creaky or flimsy parts here. As expected, all the essentials are located at the bottom: the power button, a USB Type-C charging port, and a small LED light to let you know when the device is charging or responding. It's a clean, familiar design that works well. The standout feature of the Kindle Colorsoft is of course its display. This is the first Kindle to feature a 7-inch Kaleido 3 color ink display capable of showing around 4100 colors. But here's where it gets interesting. The resolution actually differs depending on what you're looking at. Black and white content comes in at a sharp 1264 by 1680 at 300 ppi, while color content is displayed at half the resolution, 632 by 840 at 150 ppi. Now you may be wondering, why the limited number and why is the resolution lower for color? Well, unlike LCD or OLED screens, the Kaleido 3 technology doesn't actually produce color on its own. Instead, it relies on an RGB filter that overlays the grayscale ink layer. This filter doesn't add extra detail, it just splits the existing resolution into red, green and blue, which results in lower sharpness for color compared to pure grayscale content. Because of this, the addition of RGB filter slightly reduces contrast and brightness when compared to a regular black and white Kindle. Some users may notice that the color ink displays don't look as crisp and the colors can appear muted or washed. Think of it like having a thin sheet of tracing paper over the screen. It's a little softer and not quite as sharp as what you may be used to. Contrast is where this display struggles the most. It's noticeably darker and colors don't pop as much, especially in low lighting. You will need to have the front light set to at least half brightness to get the best experience. And hey, don't get me wrong, when compared to the Kindle Paperwhite, the Colorsoft still looks great, and for most people the difference isn't gonna be a deal breaker. Where the display really shines is with comics and magazines. Seeing them in color is genuinely a pleasure and it makes reading more comfortable and engaging. The downside? Apart from switching between standard and vivid color modes, there aren't many options to fine-tune things like sharpness or vibrancy. So depending on the content, some comics may appear a bit too dark and there's not much you can do to adjust that. Another cool thing, the book covers look fantastic on the lock screen in color. But like all Kindles, the lock screen isn't front lit, so the colors don't stand out as much in low light. As for ghosting, those little artifacts that sometimes appear when turning pages, it's there but it's pretty minimal and doesn't interfere with reading experience. However, if you're using dark mode, ghosting may be a bit more noticeable, as you can see in a couple of shots on the screen right now. Overall, while it's not perfect, the color displays adds a fun new dimension to reading on a Kindle, especially if you enjoy visual content like comics and illustrated books. Now let's talk about the elephant in the room, the yellow banding issue. When the Kindle Colorsoft first launched, there were a lot of reports about the yellowish discoloration band showing up at the bottom of the display. Some users also noticed uneven screen lighting with splotchy or inconsistent warmth across the screen. Naturally, this led to a wave of customer complaints. Amazon acknowledged the issue, saying that only a small number of devices were affected. But let's be real, that small number didn't feel so small. The flood of reviews on both the UK and US Amazon pages makes it pretty clear that the problem was bigger than they might have expected. In fact, Amazon even stopped selling the device temporarily for a few weeks. That's actually why I got mine so late. I couldn't even buy it to test it earlier on. Now, in my case, I haven't experienced the issue personally. I likely received the unit from a newer or already tested batch. but I've seen plenty of reviews from people who did get affected, and honestly, they have every right to be upset. This device isn't exactly cheap, so something like this shouldn't be happening. It's safe to say the yellow banding issue definitely hurt sales. I think that's one of the main reasons why the average customer rating on Amazon UK and US is sitting at around 3 stars, with a surprising high number of 1-star reviews. It's a shame because for those who didn't have that issue, the device is actually pretty solid. When it comes to performance, the Kindle Colorsoft is impressively snappy. Navigating through menus, adjusting settings, and turning pages all feel quick and responsive. Sure, there's occasional screen refresh when flipping pages, but that's completely expected with e-ink technology. Compared to previous Kindle models, this one definitely feels faster, which is a nice improvement. Before we jump to the next section, I just want to ask you to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you're enjoying this video. Appreciate your support. Now let's talk about the battery life, where things get pretty interesting. The device packs a 2310 mAh battery, and Amazon claims it can last up to 8 weeks on a single charge. But that's based on half an hour of reading per day with Wi-Fi off and the front light set to 13. Of course, I had to put it to the test myself. My first experiment was to replicate Amazon's conditions as closely as possible. Wi-Fi off, brightness at 13, and using an auto page turner set to flip the page every 10 seconds. I tracked the battery drain every hour for a couple of hours and averaged the results. The Colorsoft drained around 2% per hour under these settings, which is in line with what I saw on the Paperwhite, showing a similar 1 to 2% drain. So far, everything looked pretty normal, but that was just the conservative test. I wanted to push it a little farther. I ran another test with Wi-Fi still off, but cranked the brightness to max at 24. This time, the Colorsoft battery drained at an alarming rate, around 10 to 11% per hour. For comparison, the Paperwhite only drained 4% under the same conditions. That's a massive and quite unusual difference. Finally, I went all out with the most demanding conditions, Wi-Fi on and brightness maxed out. The Colorsoft drained a whopping 13% per hour, while the Paperwhite only lost about 6%. I made sure to keep my testing as consistent as possible, and if my numbers are right, there's definitely something going on with the excessive battery drain on the Colorsoft. It looks like the culprit could be the front light, which seems to consume way more power than expected. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this one. Do you think it's an optimization issue, or could there be something else going on the device? Let me know in the comments below. Since the Kindle Colorsoft falls under the Signature Edition lineup, it comes with a generous 32GB of storage, which gives you around 25.2GB of realistic storage to hold your content. In my opinion, that's more than enough to store thousands of books, PDFs, audiobooks, comics, and pretty much anything else you'd want to keep on your Kindle. Storage won't be an issue here. One of the standout features for me is the waterproofing. The device has an IPX8 rating, which means it can be submerged in up to 2 meters of fresh water for up to 60 minutes. Plus, the waterproofing also makes it resistant to dust and sand, which in my opinion adds to the device longevity. But how important is waterproofing to you? Let me know in the comments below. Another feature worth mentioning is the auto-adjusting front light and wireless charging. Now, I have to be honest, the wireless charging on a device that can last up to 8 weeks on a single charge feels a little bit unnecessary to me. Additionally, the device doesn't come with a wireless charging dock, so you'd have to spend extra. It does work with standard QI wireless charger, but keep in mind that some QI chargers aren't compatible. There's a list of those in the user guide, which I've linked in the description. Of course, we also get warm light and dark mode, which make night reading much easier on the eyes. However, let's talk about dark mode for a second here. Unlike previous Kindle models where dark mode applied across the entire interface, home screen, settings, and book pages, Colorsoft does things differently. The feature is now called Page Color, and it only applies to book pages. The rest of the interface, including menus and settings, stays bright. Personally, I think this is a step backward. Amazon does mention on their product page that dark mode is not currently available, which could mean they plan to add it back in the future. I hope we're going to find out soon. So what do you think about that? Should Amazon bring back full dark mode across the entire interface? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. As of now, the Kindle Colorsoft is priced at $280 in the US and £270 in the UK for the device alone. If you're in the US, Amazon offers a bundle that includes a plant-based leather cover and a wireless charger for $328, which is definitely a better deal compared to buying these items separately. The closest comparison within the Kindle lineup is the Paperwhite Signature Edition, which shares nearly identical features but comes with a black and white Carta 1300 display. That device is priced at $200, meaning you're essentially paying an extra $80 for the color display. Looking at it that way, the pricing seems fairly reasonable if you plan to fully take advantage of the color display for things like comics, magazines, or highlighted documents. That said, in my opinion, the Kindle Paperwhite remains the best value for most people. It offers great features and a solid reading experience without the premium price tag. The Colorsoft does bring unique features and that color display, but whether it's worth it depends on your personal use case. And by the way, if you're thinking of purchasing the Colorsoft or any other Kindle, consider the affiliate link in the description to support the channel at no extra cost to you. I really appreciate your support. Now, when it comes to the competition, the closest alternatives are the Kobo Libra Colour and the Kobo Clara Colour, both featuring Kaleido 3-color displays as well. The Libra Colour, priced at $220, offers additional features like writing and drawing with an optional stylus, physical page turn buttons, auto rotation, Dropbox support, and a user-friendly interface. And that's $60 less than the Colorsoft. The Kobo Clara Colour, on the other hand, comes in at $157, making it a much cheaper option if you're looking for a basic color e-reader. I've done full reviews of both the Kobo Clara Colour and the Kobo Libra Colour, and I will link those at the end of this video if you'd like to check them out. As with all Kindles, the Kindle Colorsoft is designed primarily for reading, and in that aspect it performs excellently. The lightweight build makes it incredibly comfortable to hold for extended reading sessions. Whether you're reading for an hour or several, it's easy on the hands, and the size ensures it's portable enough to take with you wherever you go. The addition of the color display really enhances the experience, especially when reading comics and magazines. While the colors aren't as vibrant as an LCD or OLED screen, they still bring a new dimension to those types of content, and I genuinely enjoyed reading them on the Colorsoft. Even though the colors are a bit muted, there's still a nice touch compared to the traditional black and white e-ink screens. Based on what we've covered so far, the Kindle Colorsoft is undoubtedly a great choice for readers who enjoy color content. If you're into comics, magazines, or anything where a splash of colors makes a difference, this device will bring your reading material to life in a way no other Kindle can. It's also perfect for avid Kindle users who are already invested in the ecosystem. If you're comfortable with how Kindle works and enjoy the smooth user interface, then the Colorsoft will fit seamlessly into your routine while offering the added bonus of color. For general readers who just enjoy books, this is still a solid choice. While the color screen may not be a necessity, it's still a fun bonus for those looking for something new and exciting in their reading device. So, what do I think about the Kindle Colorsoft overall? It's a decent device and a welcome addition to the Kindle and e-reader family, but honestly, it has the potential to be so much more. As Amazon's first generation of the Colorsoft, it's an admirable effort, but it still has room to grow. Hopefully, future iterations will build on this foundation and do much more with it. One major area that Amazon needs to seriously up their game is quality control. The yellow banding issue and other screen inconsistencies were too prevalent for a device at this price point. This was, in my opinion, the worst release from Amazon in terms of customer experience, and that's something they really need to address if they want to win back customers' trust. First gen tech is always a bit risky though, so we can hope that the next version will be much smoother. Also, imagine if Amazon expanded this technology to other devices in the Kindle lineup. A Kindle Scribe Color or even a Kindle Basic Color? Would that be stepping too far into tablet territory like the Fire tablet? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel or even become a member. I spent multiple hours testing this device and your support means a lot to me, so thank you so much. But don't leave just yet. If you want to check out my review of the Kobo Libra Colour, which competes directly with Colorsoft, you can click right here. Or the Kobo Clara Colour, click right here. And if you'd like to compare it to the Kindle Paperwhite, check that review over here. Thanks for watching and I will see you in the next one. Bye!